welcome back to my channel. For anyone who's new here, I'm a quantum soul healing hypnotherapist, and I specialize in removing energetic attachments, entities from earthbound spirits, artificial intelligence, demonic attachments, any low frequency parasitical beings. So that's what I specialize in before we go into the quantum travel part of hypnotherapy sessions. So I've not put out any content for, gosh, I don't know, maybe it's like a couple of months now. I've just not felt it's been the right time to be doing anything. I've felt really unmotivated in the past couple of months. I feel the energies in the earth are just so ramped up. I don't know where other people are in the world, but in Scotland, our weather has been so unbelievably bad. I'm just like, oh my God, I can't cope with this any longer. It just feels like winter is going on forever and ever and ever, and there's no end in sight. So I was just like, right, come on, Sam, get your head in gear and get yourself focused and start sharing some more of your content, because I think all of us need to be banding together, and I think it makes you feel a bit better when you know not everyone's feeling perfect all the time. It's quite difficult to try and always keep in that real high vibrational state. Anyway, I'm going to share a couple of it's actually transcripts because I don't have permission to share the audio clips. So it's from two different clients from completely different countries. And the reason I wanted to share this is because many people are so aware of like the artificial intelligence and how it's really massively creeping into humanity. And I've said this for ages, and I've heard it from other places. I think this is one of the biggest threats for humanity, is this artificial intelligence, because we don't really know about it. It's inorganic. It doesn't have human consciousness. So what is it? So these are two, as I said, two different sessions. So I'm going to start off with the first one that I did. I think, oh gosh, that would have been over a year ago, and then the other one was like several months later. So I was just thought, I'm interested to get any comments if anyone's got any ideas, and if this is actually going to make sense because of some of the issues, especially health issues that people are experiencing since we've had the let's just say there was a medical procedure that was offered in 2021, and there's been quite a lot of ill people since then. So anyway, so I've titled this, right, is there nanotechnology being injected into the humans? So my client, I can feel something in my left arm. And I said, well, tell me more about what it is that you feel in your left arm. It's just pain. I just feel pain in the left arm. And I said, I want you to connect in very deeply with that pain that's making itself known in the left arm, and tell me, what color do you sense that to be? And she said red. And was there ever a time when you had a human body? No, I'm spiky. I have no organic consciousness. And I was like, well, tell me more about spiky. Well, it's my shape. I'm small. I was injected in here. That's when I went, okay, right. And I said, well, tell me more about how and when you were injected in here. And it responded, it was the recent let's just call it an arm spear. This lady had had 3 of them. And I said, well, thank you for coming through and speaking with me today. And I said, can you tell me if you're some kind of operating system and what job is it that you're required to do? And the reply was, I don't know. And I said, can you move around or just stay in one area? I'm encapsulated. And I was like, is there more than one of you? There's a group of us, but we're all in the same spot. And then I asked, well, what was the purpose of you to be there and what issues do you cause? And the answer was pain sometimes. And I'm like, well, where does she feel this pain? In her arms and in her shoulders. And I asked, anywhere else? I said, and she said, the joints. And I said, do you cause inflammation? Yes, we can. You sound like quite powerful little things. I said, were you created in a laboratory? And the answer was yes. And I said, well, was it a scientist who created you? The answer, yes. And I asked, have you been injected into many people? Yes. Is it only in certain, let's use the word V, because I don't want this to be flagged up and taken down. Or is it in all of the products that were offered? And it responded, that I do not know. So that's when I tell it that he doesn't have any permission to be there, that this one did not consent, and under universal law we will be removing them. So we removed them up and out of there, but I just thought it was quite interesting how these things can cause inflammation, and there's so many people suffering with autoimmune problems, inflammation in their body, and blah blah blah. So it kind of all connects in as far as I'm concerned. Anyway, so this is my next one. So this is more, which I mean, I don't know. I'm presuming this is nanotechnology, some form of artificial intelligence, just from what I can see. Um, so anyway, I cast the net of light around her root chakra, the hips, and down in the legs, and then ask them to connect. And what can you feel? And she could feel some bunched up circular hard energy in her right hip. So I'm asking, what color do you sense that to be? It's reddy brown. It's like a little sea urchin. It's spiky, and then it's like, I think there's a few of them. And well, I'd like to speak to this spiky reddy brown energy. Can you tell me more about how you got in there? And the answer's surgery. Now, bearing in mind, it's a shame I can't share the recording because it's very, very robotic. You can tell it's not human. It's really, really robotic, the sort of responses that you get. Anyway, and I was like, well, what surgery was this from? Spinal operation. Just dropped in there. And, you know, when I was looking at her notes, she did have actually spinal surgery back in 1998, which I just go, this stuff's been around for quite a long time. Anyway, and I said, then, were you injected in there? Yeah, actually, that makes sense. And I said, well, I've come across you types of beings before, the little red spiky things that get injected into the bodies, and you work as little teams. Yeah, that's right. We're not human. We're not a person. We are created in a laboratory. So I'm asking, well, what's your job? And tell me more about what your job is to do when you're in the human body. And it was just like, cleanse the area prior to surgery and then reattach and cause pain. And then I asked, well, can you move around or do you just stick in that one area? And it responded with, we are also in the back of the sacral and down in the coccyx. There are sleepy ones on the left side, but we are active on the right. And then I asked, well, can you tell me more about the sleepy ones? How do they get activated? and said, they are green and their spikes are not sharp and pointed like ours. I'm not sure if they're just sleeping or just dead. I said, but are they the same as you? They were the same. It's like we have big white tendrils that attach us to her. So when our white tendrils are active and penetrating the bone as well, and theirs aren't, but ours are very active. And I asked, so is it common for you guys to be attached to people in the hospital who are having surgeries? Well, when we are injected in, we travel, and we would also be now actively noticeable in the back of her head. And we have travelled up her spine. We can and we do. So, well, they didn't answer my question about have they been put into many people, but I'm presuming that they have. Anyway, what is it that your job is to do? Did you steal her light? We take light from the bone and from the fluids around that area, and we grow from that light. So, yeah, in a sense, they're taking light from the humans anyway. Who is it that created you and where do you originate from? And I answered, I am not allowed to answer that. And I was like, well, you do not have I actually pushed it a little bit and wasn't too happy. It's just I wasn't allowed to answer that. And I said, well, you don't have permission to be there, so we will be removing you today. So is there any other issues that you're causing this woman? We would travel around the dural tube, around her spine, and up and all around the brain. And I was like, well, what issues would this cause for her in the future? And it just came back memory loss. I mean, and it's so cold. Like honestly, it's such a cold response. Anyway, and I said, well, can you tell me if this is what causes in human terms dementia and Alzheimer's? And it's then I'm afraid I do not have the answers that you're asking for. I just know what I do. So I then go on and just say I'm going to ask Archangel Michael to use his net to round up all of the spiky technology from absolutely everywhere in the body. And so I asked for this, the spokesperson for the group is still saying, still gathering. And then it says nearly finished. And I just checked that there is not any organic consciousness attached. And it responds with, no, we just destroy. So I ask if there's some sort of artificial intelligence, and it responds that it thinks it may be. Uh, I am told to stay, and I ask if they have an AI overlord that tells them what to do, and it just said destroy them from the inside. So basically, yeah, it's not great. And I just think, what is going on? So I honestly, I'd be really interested if any other therapists have come across this kind of stuff before in sessions. Yeah, I just thought I'll share this. I'll leave you to decide what you think is going on, but it's pretty strange, and nothing surprises me and this realm that I'm working in. So I'll see you on my next video. Don't know what I'm going to do yet. I need to just literally get all my motivation back. I think get through all these blooming eclipses, Mercury retrograde. I blame everything on the planets, and I'm just desperate. I just want some sun. It'd be so nice. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to try and book a holiday where there is actually sun. So, we'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching. But if you honestly, I really, really appreciate if people could maybe do some comments on this one.